All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I have a real quick one for you guys, just because people have been asking me what I've used for my written exams, and I'm just going to give my honest opinion of what I've used, which is Shepherd Air, and how it helped me. And yeah, so I used Shepherd Air for all of my readings except for the PPL one because they don't have it for PPL, but like instrument, commercial, CFI, fundamentals of instruction, CFII, and I really advocate for these guys. I wish that this was like a paid sponsor, but it's not. I'm just trying to help you guys. And the way that they have their program set up is where they have like these steps. It's like 5 or 6 steps, and you have to follow these steps to a T, guys. You have to follow these steps. If you skip steps and you get lazy and you get impatient, it's not gonna benefit you. So what they do is it kind of reminds me of like what Duolingo does, where it's like where you take one step forward, 2 steps forward, and then they take you a step back so that you can like to imprint what you learned on your brain. So it doesn't just blow through all the questions. You'll go through them, you'll look at them all once, all right, and you'll just okay, got it, look at it next, got it, look at it next, just question and answer. And then what they do is that they have the question, and then they have them all. Then they have 4 possible answers, and something about seeing just the answer first and then seeing it again but with a conglomerate of other questions, you just know every like your brain just picks up on it so easily. I don't know, there is apparently science behind it. I don't know. I was shocked constantly. I would go through 400 questions at a time, and I would just be like, all right, got it next, got it next, got it next, got it next, and then I would go back and I hit all those again, and I knew like I remembered 85% of those questions. That's not to say that there's not studying to be done, and they don't say that you're not to study, but really Shepherd Air is just to get you through the written test, and it's just like memorizing question and answer and studying where you feel studying is appropriate. So what I would do is I would just focus on memorizing question and answer, and then whenever I didn't understand or whatever I couldn't wrap my brain around, then I would take the time to go watch videos and talk to my instructors and do ground lessons, stuff like that. So Shepherd Air, I think, is like one of your best options if you want to get through the written questions, or sorry, written tests quickly. It's not that it's not that expensive. It's like $45 to like 55. I think every time you take a written, the next one is cheaper or something like that. You can't use it for PPL, unfortunately, but just to give you guys proof, because I want to show you kind of like analytics of my written exams. These are all my test scores, okay? So as you can see, this one right here, the private pilot exam, this one I did not do through Shepherd Air. I went through like some phone app that honestly kind of sucked now that I look back on it. And, and it was really difficult. This is like the hardest written test I've taken so far. And then I went on and I took the instrument one right here and I got a 90%. So now I'm using Shepherd Air. All right, so I got a 90% here. And this is when I started like seeing the results of Shepherd Air. I was like, oh, this is nice. And it took about 2 weeks of studying, I think. And I think the possible question pool is like 1,400 questions. And then after that, oh, and another thing, guys, when you take your instrument written airplane, if you're using Shepherd Air, or just like really if you're studying for it in general, combo these two together, all right? Because these two tests are almost exactly the same, okay? So what I did was I took this test, and then my DPE was like, I met him at the airport, and I told him I just passed my written. He was like, nice, you should take the CFII written test. I'm like, why would I do that? And he's like, because they're almost the same test. And I was like, no way. So I was like, all right, I'll send it. And then I went in and I took the test the next day and I got a 92% on this. So combo these two together. I mean, well, it wasn't the next day. It looks like it was a couple weeks later, which is crazy because I don't remember studying for this one at all. But my point is like if you pass this one with flying colors, I think you should think about taking this one pretty soon after that. So that's what I did. And then on my commercial, I used Shepherd Air again. I got a 98% on that test. It's out of 100 possible questions. This one was a little bit more challenging because there was a lot of like calculation questions like weight and balance and fuel burn rates and these scenarios. And I thought this one was a little bit more difficult, but I studied my ass off for this one. And let me break down the hours of studying that I spent. So I spent probably about 70 hours studying for the private pilot written exam. And that was a lot. And I would say it was probably between, honestly, 70 and 80 hours because you don't know anything going into this. So you have so much to learn. This one, I think I spent about 51. I used to keep track of it. This one, I spent maybe 3 because these are almost exactly the same. And this one, I spent 46 hours studying for this. I like to keep track of my studying just because I'm curious. This one, I spent 7, and this one, I spent 22 hours studying for. So the private pilot one, I didn't use Shepherd Air, and it took me a lot longer. And you can kind of see like the hours I spent studying kind of goes down after this. And I used 51 for this, 3 for this, 46 for this, and 7 for this. The commercial one took me a long time, but the instrument one took the longest, okay? So the proof was in the pudding. I gave you guys the numbers. I gave you guys the analytics. You can see my results. And yeah, I recommend Shepherd Air. Remember, it's like memorizing just question and answer. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I wish this was a paid sponsor. That would be amazing, but I don't think they do that. And this is helpful for you guys, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys are doing awesome. See ya.